Well, hi folks. We're here for the first of our sessions on faith. Today we're going to take a look at faith as our ultimate concern. What is that thing, that spiritual grounding for our lives, on which everything else is built? Our beliefs, our doubts, our actions. We begin with the story of the healing of the Gerasene or Gerasene demoniacs. This story appears not only in Matthew's Gospel, it also appears in Luke's Gospel. Luke narrates it as a single person who then at the end, when he is healed, wants to stay with Jesus, but Jesus sends him out into the village to tell the story there, to return to his family. But here, in Matthew, the story is a little different. First of all, although it's the same place, a shoreline community right on the Sea of Galilee, there are two men. And the two men are suffering from this being possessed by demons. And we have an illustration of a broken life, of distorted life, of what life in community looks like when it is out of place and out of alignment. They recognize Jesus, and the demons here ask, "What have you to do with us?" The demons depend upon fear and brokenness as the source of their power. They have so infected these two men that their whole lives are distorted and broken. Jesus sees them, and without much of a dialogue, commands that the demons go. He casts them out. He destroys them. And he casts them out by putting him into a herd of swine, of pigs. Now, Matthew is the most Jewish of all the Gospels, and this would have had significance to the people. Although also in Luke's Gospel, the demons are cast into a herd of pigs, in Matthew's Gospel, nothing is made of that, but you can guarantee that the people would have known that these are unclean animals. These are animals that were seen to be apart from the normal order of creation. You shouldn't eat them. And so by casting the demons back to a place that's on the outskirts, that's beyond the tradition, beyond the community, Jesus demonstrates the power of God. The power of God to restore life. The power of God to bring people back into community. The reaction is very interesting. First of all, in Luke's Gospel, the man who is healed wants to stay with Jesus, and Jesus says, "No, you got to go back to your community." And the community says, "Well, go on, Jesus. We can't handle you. We don't know how to deal with you." Here, we hear nothing of the two men. They disappear as characters. They are healed, they are restored, but we don't know anything about them. They don't naturally want to become Jesus' disciples. We don't know anything more of them. The swineherds, the shepherds of the pigs, they don't know what to do. And here they are frightened. They are frightened, and so Jesus is way too powerful for them. They don't know how to approach such power. It will be some time before Jesus' own disciples know how to deal with that power. Well, we ultimately will find this passage here is somewhere between, on the one hand, the Beatitudes in chapter 5, where Jesus instructs the crowd, his disciples, on what holy living is, on what it means to be blessed. And chapter 10, where Jesus sends his disciples out into the world, calls them to lives of costly discipleship. This is in between there a demonstration of power. And how do we deal with God's power in our lives? Do we acknowledge it? Do we shy away from it? Do we fear it? Do we wonder, what does it have to do with us? Or do we seek to live life in Jesus' name? Do we seek to live out those Beatitudes? Do we seek community that restores and renews and reconnects people? Some questions for us this week. How do you respond to the power of all creation that gives and creates life, that is able to cast away demons? How do you respond to that in your daily life? How do we do that as a community? Some things for us to think about. Thanks for following along. Please sign up for the daily devotions, and look forward to continuing this story, continuing this journey with you next week. Bye-bye for now.